Let me get my camera. Hold on a second. Is it bad? Is there a one that's better?
No, I just use it too.
Really? Yeah, instead of a warm up today, we're going to do. I want to show you how to do them by hand. That so for a review. That's up to you. You don't have to. There'll be a video too that shows. Okay. So guys, if you wanna write this down, you can. If you want to pay attention, I don't want to see phones or Chromebooks out. You need to close those. You don't need those right now. Plus, trust me, you'll get plenty of time to work on the review. All right. So, guys, I'm going to double check with this, but I think numbers 1 and 2, 5 and 6 are the ones you got to show work for. And when you come in tomorrow, I'll have a gridded sheet with 4 grids on it where you have to put your work on. You'll know the numbers. It'll have it numbered already. Okay, so this is one where you'd have to show work. Okay, so far as steps go, okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get your absolute value alone. You get the absolute value alone. Well, guys, most of these ones you're going to be doing, I don't see anywhere the absolute value is not already by itself. So step 1 is going to pretty much be done for you. Okay? Step 2. Is to set up your rule. Okay? So now, real quick, maybe put on your note card. If you have the absolute value, these were on the board yesterday too. If you have the absolute value by itself equal to a positive C, then you're going to take what's inside the absolute value, set it equal to a negative C value, and you're going to have the what's inside the absolute value equal to a positive C value. So number 1 should already be done for you. Number 2, make sure that you do number 2 because you'll get one of the answers right, but the other one won't be right. Or you won't get 2 answers. If you're getting one answer and not the others because you forgot to do this first. Is there any circumstance where I take anything outside the absolute value bars? Don't do that. Okay? So what I'm going to do here, set up the rule. We'll call this A, B plus 18. So B plus 18 equals, so in this case, guys, that's my A and my C. Okay? You're going to set A, the whole thing, equal to negative 50. So there's your rule. Now, guys, if you get this far, you already got some credit already because if you're doing this, you seem like you know what you're doing. Okay? I mean, anybody can make a mistake, but you can check it on Desmos. Well, the only thing I got to do here is get B by itself. So I subtract 18. So there's one answer. Subtract 18. Now, if I'm doing this, I'm definitely going to check it. If I spend all that time to see if it's right. Remember with Desmos, use the X variable. That's the one that seems to work better with. So y equals the left side, y equals the right side. Zoom out till you see, in this case, a blue straight line and a red absolute value. Okay, so if the X values are what you have, then you got it right. That's full credit. But I would check it, okay? All right. I'm not going to put that in because that just takes more time. All right. Okay, here's going to be one where you do an absolute value inequality by hand. To me, these are the ones that, as far as doing it by hand, are the most difficult between the two, because you can have the wrong rule. I forgot step 3 on the first problem. Solve both equations for, I'm just going to put x. You know it's a variable, in this case it's b. But the third step there will be to solve for both equations for the variable. That's the third step. Okay. Step 1, get absolute value alone. Like I said, the ones by hand should already have that for you. Step 2, set up absolute value. You're going to set up your absolute value inequality rule. Now, since this is the greater than, if I have the absolute value of A greater than a positive C, then it's A less than a negative C, or A greater than a positive C. Remember, the less than goes with the negative or the smaller number, and the greater than goes with the larger number when you get your answer. Okay, I should have said that. But A less than a negative C, or less than a negative C, or A greater than C. Don't forget your order. If it counts it wrong on delta math, usually your raw score, which is what you entered, is a little bit lower than your actual score. Unless there was one when you had to show work and you didn't show work, then it may be less. Okay, so following this rule, that's x minus 1 So if you look at this, this looks exactly like this. Just A is just the inside. Let me go full screen. Okay. So this should kind of mirror this. All right. And then step 3, solve for. You're going to solve for the variable. This is very easy. I'm going to add 1. Don't forget your OR. So guys, this would be full credit. Okay, so the main thing that I think we're all the Math 3 teachers look for, if you know how to set up the rule, because most of you probably know how to solve this. All right. Now, if I put this in Desmos and this is my answer, what part of the absolute value graph should be shaded? The 2 legs or the middle part? The legs. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. If I have an answer that looks like this, then it should show that on Desmos. Then remember, you put the exact inequality that they give you. Okay, so I know it looks right because the 2 legs are shaded, right? 2 legs are shaded. My X values are right. Okay? And just remember, the less than or less than equal to goes with the smaller number. Okay? The greater than equal to goes with the larger number. Because that's what this is saying right here. Not going into a whole lot of spill about the math of it. But everything to the left is less than negative 12. Everything to the right is greater than 14. That's what this inequality is saying. And that makes sense because that's what's in the shaded region. All right. Okay. Let's see. Guys, we just did writing translated. Let's see, let me make sure. We did this yesterday. Is everybody pretty good with that? That was pretty simple because most people didn't struggle with that. If you do have a problem with it, just let me know and I can show you. All right, but those I'm not going to take your time doing those because we just did them yesterday. The rest of those can be done with Desmos. All right, this is the same question that you guys have. Okay, so oh yeah, there's one I forgot to do. We'll do this one first though. Okay. So with the word problems, remember the part A and part B will be in two separate problems. Okay. So first thing I want to do is write down the form it needs to be in. That's the form of any tolerance word problem. Okay. Will anything ever look different than this? It can't be that way. That's always minus. That's always less than equal to. Okay? The ideal is always larger than your tolerance. So that being said, I know that 12.3 is the ideal length of the ruler. If it's the ideal length, it's 12.3 inches. However, they can vary by 0.2 inches either way. So there's your tolerance. 12.3 is a lot bigger than this. Okay. Now, this is going to be the next question, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to write it to make it the Delta Math take it. You're going to use the letters ABS. If you don't have this, just make sure you sometime today get how to write it in there. So you're going to type in the letters ABS, open parenthesis, and ABS stands for absolute value. X minus 12.3, close parentheses. So there's your just regular old parentheses. Less than, equal to, tolerance. So the only thing really different, the ABS, these are parentheses. All right. Now, here's the thing. This is not the answer they're looking for this particular problem. That will be the next one. Okay? So now, remember, you can do these in Desmos as well. You don't have to really, do it by hand. If it looks like you don't have a V shape, zoom in. If you do not have the V shape in the shaded region, then you're doing something wrong, okay? Okay, so remember, if the V shape is the V shape's in the shaded region, automatically you know that it's this going to be this type of answer, right? V represents the V in the shaded represents the compound. And then, so that's going to be smaller X value on the left, larger X value on the right. And guys, what this is called is the range of values, okay? So for the first one, if you see in the problem, what is the range of values? That is going to be the inequality part. If it was me, what I would do, somewhere on the back of that sheet that I give you for your work, write this down. That way, if you write it down and get it right, I'll just give you back the whole credit because you just typed it in wrong. Okay? So the range, okay? And this is going to be the answer to the one that says write an absolute value inequality, that's the answer. The ones that says the range is that answer. I'm thinking this is the first word problem answer. I'm pretty sure it has a range in the first one, which is the second to the last. That's going to be the answer for that one. This is going to be the answer for the very last problem. So this one will be if you haven't answered that yet, that'll be your answer too for your review. I didn't change that because I didn't feel like there's no need to do that. So that's what the very last answer will look like. That's the exact answer. Yeah, I'm not finished. Okay, guys, I want to take up a lot of your time, but I want to show you one type because it was on the test, but we didn't do them in. It was on the review, but we didn't do it during the when we did these. On the absolute value. The absolute value equation is level 2. These. Okay. You're still going to do the same thing. You're going to do. I wouldn't do these by hand. If you do them by hand, they're pretty tough. All right, then you're going to go down here, put y equals 5x. This is actually a good one to start with. How many times does the purple cross the green absolute value? Once, right? So guys, remember, if it crosses, that's the solution. So how many solutions do you have for this one?
Just one.
Just one. Okay, so that being said, that is going to be your that's going to be your only answer. Okay? So now with this one, say if I no, that ain't right. Say if I change this a little bit. Now what kind of answer is that? If it doesn't cross at all, it's no solution. Okay? So if it crosses twice, 2 solutions. Crosses once, 1 solution. No crossing at all is no solution. That's the whole test.